And what time is it?
It's time for the horror guys.
Yay! I'm Brian.
And I'm Kevin. And we're going to talk about some horror movies.
And you probably hear Sparkler the horror cat in the background.
Our guest.
Yeah.
Our guest
always
today.
Eager to chime in. And it's not a photo bomb on a podcast, is it?
Audio bomb.
Yeah. Well, hey, as always, we have movies for you.
We do.
5 of them this week. And these are all 2025 newish releases.
All right.
What do we got?
And I see a clear winner and a clear loser this week. Yeah. Well, we have, like we said, they're all 2025s. We have Good Boy, which is all about a doggy. Horror movie from a doggy's point of view. And the remake of The Toxic Avenger, which finally is officially released this year. I guess it's been dragging around.
It's a 2023 movie, technically.
Yeah, they had some trouble with the distribution and some legal issues with it, but it's here. It's out. We saw it.
I think it was so revolting and bad, nobody wanted to carry it.
Yeah,
I don't think it was an issues issue.
Well, a distribution issue.
Yeah.
And then 2025's Borley Rectory, The Awakening, which is a prequel. And Lost Contact, UFOs After Wartime.
All righty.
And Strange Harvest.
Okay. It sounded like an afterthought there. All right. And, of course, we are brought to you by Horror Monthly Magazine, where you can pick up the latest copy. Issue number... I always say episode.
Issue.
We do podcasts, we do episodes. We do magazines, we do issues. Issue number 49 is available now. Go to horrormonthly.com, which has links to wherever you'd like to buy your book. Amazon, Lulu, our website... You get it in paperback, print, all the good stuff. Has all the things from last month in it.
Wherever fine books are sold.
Yeah, and it is the October issue.
Nice. There were good movies in October.
There are good movies this month, too.
There's good movies every month.
Well, we like good movies, so we're going to talk about Good Boy.
Good Boy.
2025, directed by Ben Leonberg. Written by Alex Cannon and Ben Leonberg. Stars Indy. Indy is a dog.
Yeah, he is.
Indiana Jones, I named you after the dog.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I get it now.
Yes.
Shane Jensen and Arielle Friedman, 1 hour, 12 minutes. Kind of short. And it has a trailer at the usual place. Link in the show notes. Spoiler free, what happens?
Well, like we said, the main character of the movie is a dog, with everything slanted toward his point of view, which is interesting. His master Todd is afflicted with both a terminal illness and dark forces that are working against him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, both things that seem to have been impacting his family for quite a while. But he's got Indy by his side. It's unique, and that helps it out a lot, I think. But it's actually kind of slow-moving on a slow simmer. We both thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, liked it.
Yeah, the dog is good. And trivia and stuff about it says that the director raised the dog with this in mind, I guess. Or, it's the director's dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he probably had this. And the shooting of it took a long time because it's a dog.
Dogs don't work on cue.
Yeah, not necessarily. But he's a good dog.
Well, we're not going to spoil it for you, any of these for you, because they're all new movies this week. But it starts out, Indy the dog protects the house at night. You know how dogs are. He hears strange sounds that concern him. The phone keeps ringing. Turns out that Todd is having some kind of seizure. His sister Vera comes in and calls 911. And credits roll. Then we watch old footage of Indy being a puppy and growing up with Todd and his family. Todd's got a lot of health problems, and Indy is a big help with that. Todd and Vera argue about him going to stay at Grandpa's house. Neither Vera nor Indy think that's a good idea. The house is very remote in the country, and Todd's probably going to need an ambulance or something one of these days.
He's got some health issues, yeah.
When they arrive, Indy really doesn't want to get out of the car. The place is kind of a mess, but Todd says it beats the hospital. Well, Todd calls Vera, and they talk. Grandpa used to have a bunch of dogs, but they all kept running away for some reason.
And that's not a good sign,
They didn't die. He didn't do anything to them. They just sort of ran away in terror.
Huh.
As he watches old home videos of Grandpa, Vera points out that no one has lived in that house for more than a few weeks, except for Grandpa, ever. She says it's haunted.
Huh.
Meanwhile, Indy checks out shadows that he doesn't like. Indy then explores the old house, but doesn't find anything. Needless to say, Indy starts finding things.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of neat, too. They showed Indy dreaming, and it was an interesting transition. A couple of times at least.
Mm-hmm.
You know, transitioning from doggy dream to doggy reality. And, I thought that was interesting.
Okay, all Grandpa's dogs ran off, and then we see why.
Mm-hmm. We do find out.
As we've said a couple times, it's told from Indy's point of view, which I thought was interesting and unique. Dogs do sense things that humans can't, and this film makes heavy use of that fact. Indy the dog gets top billing here, primarily because we don't see any of the actors or the characters' faces through the majority of the film. We see Grandpa on videotape, but we don't see Todd, or we don't see Vera.
Not very clearly.
Not face-wise.
We just get glimpses of the humans.
Yeah. It's kind of slow-moving and kind of quiet. I think some people might say it's boring, but I was attentive throughout.
Yeah, me too.
If you're a dog lover, you'll love this one.
Yeah, liked it quite a bit.
Should we spoil whether or not the dog dies at the end?
We shouldn't.
We shouldn't?
No.
Okay.
Let them wonder.
A lot of people won't watch it if they think the dog's going to die at the end.
It's easy to look up if you're curious.
Yeah.
Just Google.
What is that website? Does the dog die at the end?
Yeah, I think there's
a
a site dedicated to that, actually.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, but actually, that's a common question that people were asking, and it's very easy to Google.
Yeah, if you want to know, Google it. We're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
All right, one that did die on the air is The Toxic Avenger. Directed by Mackin Blair, written by Mackin Blair, Lloyd Kaufman, and Joe Ritter, stars Peter Dinklage, Jacob Tremblay, Taylor Page. It is an hour and 42 minutes, and there is a trailer in the show notes. And just for reference, we did the original 1984 Toxic Avenger either last week or the week before. It's easy enough to Google on the Horror Weekly site. And we both really liked the 84 version.
We both thought this was pretty good.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It was not as good as the first one.
No, I don't think so. It lacked that good trauma essence that the first one had.
I want to say this one was going much more for a superhero vibe, and the other one was going for a schlocky crap movie vibe.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think the first one was a much better schlocky crap movie than this was a superhero movie.
Yeah. First one's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler free. This remake does a good job of paying tribute to the original while being different enough to still entertain. It's still stupid fun and over the top, but with a very different vibe. It's saturated and colorful, almost cartoonish, with less of a thrown-together feeling than the original had. When the gore kicks in, it's the goriest gore.
It is gory.
The humor is hit and miss, but mostly hit, Kevin says.
You disagreed.
I didn't find most of it that funny.
Okay, I did, yeah.
We both did enjoy it. It's all right. If you like that kind of thing, go ahead and watch the Toxic Avenger remake, but it wasn't great.
The original's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how's it begin?
Well, it starts out with Winston narrating his story, which begins on the other side of town. Mel Ferd, the reporter, gets footage from the BTH headquarters. He's got evidence that they've been dumping toxic waste illegally. Well, just then a group of goons break in and kill him, and he dies hard.
He doesn't really want to die.
Yeah. His junior reporter, JJ, she gets away, and credits roll. And then in St. Roma's village...
And the sign, of course, has some of the letters rubbed out, so it just says Tromaville.
Yeah. We meet Winston, who lives with his son Wade and can't cook breakfast. We see that there are some really weird people in the town, and there are some bad guys who are forcing shopkeeper Daisy to sell her place. Well, Winston goes to work at BTH as a janitor, and it doesn't look like OSHA would approve of the place at all.
No.
Yeah. He gets a call from his doctor, who says that he has an inoperable case of... Yeah. Every time the doctor talks about something meaningful...
A power tool or something covers over the name of the thing.
Yeah. So, anyway, Winston only gets the part that says he's got 6 months to a year to live at the most.
I think he hears it. I think they just didn't want to say it for our benefit.
Yeah. Winston then calls his insurance company, who explains things like insurance companies sometimes do, and he is screwed.
Yeah. Well,
meanwhile, at Garbinger Mansion, BTH owner Bob may have passed his prime, but he's still getting an infusion of gorilla blood. His brother Fritz comes in, and he's tremendously weird. Think Penguin is who he reminded me of, the Danny DeVito Penguin.
Yeah.
Fritz's friends, the Killer Nuts, who are also a rock band. That's the Goons, the group of Goons, and their rock band. Well, they're the ones who botched the reporter's murder and let JJ get away. Fritz sends the Nuts after JJ to finish the job, and they're not a subtle group.
Fritz, send your nuts out for another job.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, at New Chemical High School...
Newcomb High.
Newcomb High, yeah. Wade auditions for a talent show, which goes badly. Winston tries to cheer him up, but he's just not very good at that. So
okay, let's stop there.
Yeah.
Now, the original had a dorky loser who was the janitor at the place, and he got picked on by all the pretty young people. This one has a dying father with a son taking care of his son.
Mm-hmm.
They're not quite the same thing.
Not exactly, no.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's got a much bigger budget and has many references to old trauma films. Still, it's awfully polished and doesn't have that low-budget schlocky feel of the originals. A lot of the jokes and puns are pretty obvious, and I thought a lot of them fell flat.
Okay, I thought more hit than not. I chuckled many times.
Well, I didn't hate it, but it was nowhere near as funny as the original.
It was pretty funny.
But the actors, especially Elijah Wood and Kevin Bacon, are obviously having a great time in their roles. Elijah Wood looks like a cross between the Penguin and Riff Raff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
And Peter Dinklage, I have no idea how they got him involved with this.
Yeah. I don't know. And a bit of trivia, too, that once Winston becomes Toxie, there's an actress.
Yes, there's somebody else inside the costume.
In under all those prosthetics, yeah. Louisa Guerrero is the actress who is the body work under all the prosthetics.
Body double or stunt person.
Peter Dinklage doing the voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the original was a hilarious parody of horror and superhero films, where this was much more straightforward and not nearly as funny.
It's funny.
It's fine.
Okay. I laughed many times.
Anything to add?
No, I think overall I'd call it good and entertaining, not as good as the original.
If it interests you, it's worth seeing.
Yeah.
If you want to see one or the other, go with the original.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
2025, Borley Rectory, The Awakening. Directed by Stephen M. Smith. Written by Christopher Jolly, Stephen M. Smith. Stars Julian Glover. Oh, look, a big star comes in a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
He dies 2 minutes in. Patsy Kensit and Jess Inchbald. Hour and 28 minutes. Trailer in the show notes. And this is technically a prequel to...
It's the third Borley Rectory movie.
But they're not really a series.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
I think they're all standalones. Oh, there is another one made by these people. I don't think all four of them are made by these people.
No, there's three. There's three made by these people.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
There's three. This is the third movie, and it's a prequel.
All right.
There's a fourth movie out there that's a documentary that's not related to these folks.
It is based on a real place.
But it is based on a real place. Yeah,
the most haunted building in England or something like that.
Yeah, and you can look up the Wikipedia, which I actually put a link to in here.
But you don't need to have seen the other movies. We didn't see any of the others, and this made perfect sense to us. It's fine. Just watch it if you want to see it.
Uh-huh.
Spoiler-free.
Well, like we said, it's based on terrifying true events.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Well, Borley Rectory was a real house in England. It was damaged by fire in the late 1930s and demolished in the 1940s. But before then, it was said to be the most haunted house in England. Okay. Well, it has a slow build, starting with normalcy and getting creepier as it goes along. It's really heavy on talk and low on action, maybe too much. And there's some scares, but there's no casualties except for the people who are already ghosts, already dead. So overall, it's not too bad, but it's tame. It's real tame.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if you like haunted houses and,
ghost stories,
non-gory ghost stories, you'd probably like this one.
Because it is creepy, and there's a little bit of a mystery of what's going on.
It's very turn of the screw.
Yeah, they piece together what happened a long time ago and why it's happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a ghost story more than specifically a horror type thing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it is, but, it's kind of light horror.
Yeah.
We open on Borley Rectory in 1888. The guests want to hear a ghost story about the place, and old Harry Ball has stories. Wow. That just hit me.
Hearing that out loud, the Beavis and Butthead in me kicked in.
This is not a comedy.
No, it isn't.
He tells the story of a nun named Marie who was against God, and the priest who beat her severely. Suddenly, a white-faced woman jumps out into the room and scares all the guests half to death. Well, it's just a prank they put him up to. Harry laughs and says there are no such thing as ghosts, and ghosts aren't real. That night, Harry has a nightmare, as does one of the young guests, and the old man gives his son Henry a box. And then, cut to 12 years later, I guess Harry's dead at this point, we never see him again.
Mm-hmm.
Henry runs the rectory, and all his sisters come for a visit. Mabel, Carolyn, Frida, and Kitty are all there now. Their mother, Constance, says the girls are far too spoiled and argues with Henry about marrying off Kitty soon. Well, Kitty finds a priest hole, and inside that, she sees the box from earlier. They take it to Henry, who doesn't look too happy to see it. There are secrets inside. Letters from Reverend Shaw, one of old Harry's old friends. Well, Mr. Somerset comes for a visit. Constance doesn't much like him. Well, the girls are out walking and see a strange woman in a nun's habit on the grounds. The woman is just like the one old Harry described in his story many years ago.
But that couldn't be. He said there are no ghosts.
Well, Kitty tells Constance about the strange woman. Constance thinks maybe Henry knows more than he's saying. As they argue, they feel a strange presence in the house. Naturally, they split up to investigate, and this time, Constance sees the nun, Marie, who warns her to hide from the evil priest. All right, and then we have the ghostly shenanigans with the evil priest and Marie the ghost and the family.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's an interesting location, and it is definitely a creepy-looking place. The actors all do old-timey accents. I didn't find the dialogue to be very convincing. They needed a better dialogue coach.
Yeah.
They were
trying to be upper crust and, modern actors, obviously, but they were trying to be upper crust and period, and it ended up kind of coming across as stilted and unnatural sounding.
Community theater doing Downton Abbey.
Well, that's harsh, but yeah, along those lines. Yeah.
But anyway, that's a minor thing. It seems that everyone knows the place is haunted. All the family knows it is, and yet all they do is sit around and discuss it. Wouldn't you go to the inn in town right away once you first saw a ghost?
With some of this stuff, yeah.
Still, as the story progresses and we learn more about what's going on, it does pick up a bit. Everything is what you'd expect in a 19th century ghost story, but it's all pretty drawn out and slow. If you're really interested in ghost stories, it's not bad, but it's kind of tame and maybe just a little on the dull side.
And I hate to admit it too, but it might not really be based on terrifying true events. It's interesting reading about the Roll House and the history, and that's easy to look up. And it sounds like the supernatural element should be looked at with a skeptical eye, because there was one guy that was heavily involved in it especially. I didn't make a note of his name, but, kind of sketchy and, kind of a scam artist trying to make it seem more interesting than it really was. And
it's not the Warrens, is it?
It's not the Warrens, but, it does put in question whether any of this was real or not. But,
all right.
But looking at it as a ghost story movie, it's got some entertainment value.
Speaking of, is it real or not?
Yeah.
Our next movie is Lost Contact, UFOs After Wartime.
Oh, I like documentaries.
It is an actual documentary. This is not, anything too awful fake. It's a real documentary. It's written and directed by Seth Breedlove. And we've done quite a few of his things in the past. Bigfoot, and many cryptid kind of things.
Small town monsters.
Yes. Then this one stars Aaron Dees, Dewey Edwards, and Micah Hanks. Not really stars. They interview people throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's an hour and 26 minutes long, and there is a trailer in the show notes. Spoiler-free, it is another interesting documentary from Seth Breedlove, obvious from the title, focusing on UFO sightings during and after World War II. which should be capitalized.
Oh, it should, yes.
The film is put together with stock footage, aged CGI recreations, movie clips, interviews, historical accounts, and recounted eyewitness reports. So it's got lots of stuff going on here. Some of the scenes might lead people to believe they're seeing the actual events and saucers in the sky, when it's really just a mashup of real military footage from other events and realistically created CGI footage. There's a heavy focus on one case in particular, a fatal crash by the pilot, Thomas Mantell, and this has become known as the Mantell incident. So this is a real thing, it really happened, and this is a documentary about that incident.
It's speculation on why it happened.
Yeah, it really did happen. The details, we'll leave that to you.
Uh-huh. The Thomas Mantell case, it took place in Kentucky in 1948, January 1948. They crashed. I mean, there's no doubt of that. They crashed hard in a rural area, and we start out being shown the peaceful-looking spot where it happened many years ago, and credits roll.
It's a field.
It's a field.
Yeah, there's a guy out there with a metal detector looking for bits and pieces that might still be left over.
Yeah. Well, and then we get a brief recap of World War II and the aircraft involved in the fight. Then when we get a interview of the overview of the magic and natural beauty of Kentucky. And then we segue into discussion about UFO sightings during the war, told about one sighting in particular in 1943 where dozens of glowing discs were seen, and then a 1944 sighting of a black teardrop-shaped craft. Throughout the stories, we see a great deal of old stock footage of airplanes and aged-looking CGI reenactments. And there's interviews here and there spaced with experts in history and ufology. And they talk about, by 1947, UFO sightings were starting to be everywhere. And were they alien ships or advanced military prototypes or just weather balloons or something natural? There's a lot of speculation. And there's not really spoilers here to give.
Yeah, why don't you just do the whole thing? There's no spoilers.
Because
it's not a documentary.
It's not a story, yeah. And there's always, the question with UFO sightings and lights in the sky. Is it Venus or, Well, like we said, in January of 1948, the Mantell incident took place. A pilot took a shot at a UFO, which shot back, maybe. And the pilot, Thomas Mantell, crashed and died. The military airplane crashed because of an alien attack.
Maybe.
Well, the story has changed and expanded over the decades, and it's kind of hard to know what really happened. He was an experienced pilot. Thomas's two grandsons are interviewed, and they give us a lot of biographical information about the deceased pilot. There were many sightings of something in the sky that day, and they took off to investigate.
He did. Thomas and his group, not the grandsons.
Right, yeah, back in the day. Out of the four planes, Mantell's was the only one that ascended beyond what his oxygen level would allow. He passed out and crashed.
Maybe. See, we get these two alternating possibilities.
Yeah, and, it's the evidence says that seems to be what happened, and yet he knew better than to do that. So what would make him do that?
Or did he? He'd never flown that kind of plane before.
Yeah, so that further complicates it. Super experienced pilot, not super experienced with this kind of plane. Well, we get a string of living witnesses who are still around who either saw the crash of 1948 or know the story of it, and they each tell their stories. So did he fly too high chasing a weather balloon, or was he shot down by something? The military's official story at one time said that Mantell was chasing Venus, which was visible at the time.
Oh, he'd know better than that.
That's what people are saying, yeah. As experienced as he was, that he should know better. But, there's a lot of unknowns.
Okay, down to the commentary part. I always enjoy these documentaries, but this one includes lots of computer-generated footage of flying saucers and such. But they're aged to make them match the stock footage clips, which makes it all look historical. I mean, if we had footage like this in 1948, there wouldn't be any questions about UFOs.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This kind of, I'm going to say this seems a little dishonest, not something you'd really want in a documentary. It becomes easy to imagine that it's all real footage, but it's not. But some of it could be real old footage, and there's no way to know which is which. Now, these guys, they do their Bigfoot documentaries, and they show, like, pictures and CGI images of Bigfoot, but you know they're not real. This one is a little more persuasive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
But anyway, other than that, it's well put together, has lots of good interviews, and overall is an interesting look at one of the major UFO mysteries that has never been fully explained. It mostly focuses on the Mantell incident, and if that interests you, you should absolutely check this one out. But it's got lots of other, history of World War II sightings and stuff like that in here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're into UFOs, it's worth looking at.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's good. Good one.
What's happening on the farm? We're having a strange harvest?
We've come to my favorite of the week.
Your favorite of the week, okay.
It's Strange Harvest, which was written and directed by Stuart Ortiz, stars Peter Zizzo, Terry Apple, and Andy Lauer. Runtime's an hour and 34 minutes, and there's a trailer on YouTube.
Spoiler free. It was put together in a realistic documentary style, as detectives recount their struggles trying to catch a serial killer in California. One key difference here is that there's a lot more gore than a documentary would have. It gets steadily creepier as we hear more details, and learn that the murders were not at all typical. If you're a fan of true crime television, you might especially like this one.
And
we thought it was very good.
And the movie Seven, for instance, if you like true crime and the movie Seven, this one's for you. It made me think of it at times.
I think my favorite of the week would be Good Boy, but this is a very close second.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we both really like this one.
Yeah.
What happens?
Well, Detective Joe Kirby is being interviewed about a crime in Los Angeles. Something unusually terrible happened to the Sheridan family. And after hearing from a few of the people involved, we start seeing police body cam footage of the officers at the scene. And they find 3 bodies tied, taped up, and posed at the table, as well as being obviously murdered.
Now, this whole thing is done like a documentary, but it shows things you wouldn't see in a normal true crime show.
Yeah. Well, there's a weird symbol painted in blood on the ceiling, and the officer recognizes the symbol, and it's not good. Credits roll.
Seen that before.
Yeah. Detective Lexi Taylor, Joe Kirby's partner, tells us about why she became a cop, as does Joe, and they describe some ritualistic serial murders that they were involved with. The first was in 1993, and the victim, a girl, was missing several body parts. The suspect's name was discovered at a local motel, Albert Shiny. So they start calling the guy
the Shiny
Mr.
Killer.
Shiny,
Yeah, Mr. Shiny,
or the Shiny Killer. Yeah. In 1994, an old man was found and killed in a similar fashion. He was missing an eye. The killer left a fingerprint, but that didn't pan out to anything. And in 1995, a little boy was killed and his liver was removed.
Now, what we've seen and are told here happens really fast, like in the first 5 or 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. We do see some stuff, but this is not part of the movie.
Yeah. Kind of a
background,
yeah. Well, eventually the police did receive a letter from the killer. It claimed there would be 10 more killings. And then there weren't any more killings for 15 years, until the Sheridan family in 2010. And the family, after being tied up and posed, were cut up and made to bleed out into carefully measured buckets. It was well planned.
Yeah. And there's lots more.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be 10 more killings, and we'll see what happens.
And they're very strange, and the killer is very well organized and very elusive.
Yeah, he's a smart one.
Yeah.
And as we've said, it's all done in the style of a true crime documentary, and it is very well done. I think Kevin asked me 5 minutes in, is this another documentary or is this real?
This is real. This is a movie, isn't it?
The difference here is the graphic footage of the victims and sometimes the murders themselves. The killer sends various letters. Here's a complaint from me. The killer sends letters that are briefly shown on the screen, handwritten letters, while a computer-altered voice reads it. The letters aren't on screen long enough to actually read with your eyes, and that computerized voice I thought was too much. It was almost unintelligible.
Okay, I thought the voice was okay. I followed it okay.
Okay, I did
But
not.
it was mighty quick. It
Yeah.
talks mighty fast, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not generally a fan of true crime tales, but I really like this one.
Yeah. And I wasn't even aware of this one at all before you fired it up. Yeah. And like we said, it took me a few minutes to determine. It's a horror movie, not a documentary, right? Yeah.
Well, it's that well made. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like a regular true crime thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, my favorite, I'm a dog person. I like dogs, so Good Boy comes first.
Okay.
Strange Harvest, number 2. I'm going with Borley Rectory as 3, Toxic 4, and maybe the UFOs as 5.
Okay. I think I'd put Strange Harvest and Good Boy in that order. And the other 3 just kind of a tie.
Yeah. The bottom 3 are...
Equally good.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're all okay. I was entertained.
Hey, you know what we're going to have next week?
More movies, I bet.
5 more movies.
All right.
Yay! We're getting up toward Halloween.
Ooh, okay. And then Christmas, the second most horror celebrated holiday.
Yeah.
Actually, there's probably more Christmas horror movies than there are Halloween horror movies. I bet there are.
Very possibly, yeah. And if you read this month's issue number 49 of the Horror Monthly, you see our coming attractions page where we talk about the Horror Guy's Guide to the Horror Movies of
Christmas.
75 Christmas-based horror movies.
Oh,
Christmas and holidays.
And that's just a slice of them.
I think it may be our thickest, fattest book yet. There's a lot of movies in there. Mm-hmm. And they're almost all good. I can't think of any really bad Christmas movies. Can you?
No, they're generally good.
I'm sure there's a couple in there that I'm not on the top of my mind.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about having a Christmas movie marathon, pick this one up. It'll give you a great guide.
Yeah, it will.
And it'll be available toward the end of October. It's not available just yet, but it's coming.
Soon.
Yeah. What else is coming? Next week when we'll see you then.
Okay. See ya.
See ya.